NSJT, no secrets, just truth. Jezreel Emil Kavan, never give up. Even as the day leads you into a place of darkness, leads you into a place of sorrow, never give up. Even if you fall trying to reach the heights of heaven, I say unto you, never give up. When in doubt, believe. Believe that there is something out there greater than anything else standing by your side, because He is. The Alpha, the Omega, the Almighty is standing with you. The journey of life is not easy. It is not for the faint of heart. There will be times that you are hungry. There are times where you will be thirsty for the truth. And you will have to use the desire to go on, the passion to defeat the enemy to get you through. I say to you that no matter what happens in life, that you are perfect, that you are chosen to move forward and change lives, including your own. Never give up. Never give up, even though there will be so many who will doubt you. There will be those who will curse you. There will be those who deny you. There will be times in your life when the road will get bumpy, where the road will get lonely. But you have to remember why you are doing what you're doing. Because you're trying to reach destiny. You are trying to find the meaning of your life. You are trying to defend what you have obtained and keep the ground that you have gained. The enemy wants us to be afraid of the power that we have inside. The enemy wants us to doubt ourselves. The enemy wants us to be divided and not united with each other. We are all one family. We are the body of Christ. We must stand and speak. Speak out against those who are so willing to tear down others. Stand up to the bullies of the world. Stand up to the powerful of the world. Stand up to the corrupt in the world. Stand up to those who continue to do what is wrong. It is our journey to correct the future. They say we are living in our last days, which makes this even more important for us to take our last stand, to use our voices to change not just our world, not just our families, not just our communities, but the nations of the world. It takes you and I to have the courage, the fortitude, the backbone to do what is necessary. Never give up. No matter how dark and gloomy it may seem, no matter how much the storm may rage and the railing and thunder and lightning flashes, you must remember that on the other side of the storm is the light of the day. We must remember as we lay down to go to sleep that we have an important mission to accomplish. That is to wake with the morning light and do God's will. For our bodies to be instruments in the cause of righteousness and justice. We can no longer go through life being silent. We can no longer go through life waiting for someone else to do what we're supposed to do. We were born for a purpose. There is no life that comes into this world that was born without purpose. Many may say that they understand, But do you truly understand that we have the burden of changing the world on our shoulders? That we have the burden of taking that step forward, not knowing what is waiting for us, but having belief and faith in our hearts that we will make it through, that we will make ends meet, that there will be food on the table, a roof over our heads, and clothes on our backs. Some of us have gone through so much in our lives that we no longer believe good things can happen to us, that we no longer believe that we will be blessed. We look at the world and we see the chaos. We look at the world and we see something that we do not want to belong to. For the standards of society has grown to a higher standard. We must have the car, the house, the money, the good job before we can even fit in, the right body type, the right face, the right hairstyle. I'm here to tell you that that makes no difference to the God in which I serve. It makes no difference to the God that rules over our souls. It makes no difference to the God who protects our heart. We must begin to push back against those who try to make us into a cookie-cutter society. We must push back as outcasts and remind people the reason why we are outcasts is because we refuse to follow the flock over the cliff. We refuse to give up. We refuse to let dogs lie. We rock the boat. We refuse to join a community in which doesn't mind having pain, doesn't mind having shame, doesn't mind being blamed for the destruction of the family, for the destruction of the community, for the destruction of life. We have nihilists in our lives. We have atheists in our presence. We have those who have committed atrocities against the nation and the people of God. And I'm here to tell you, do not give up. Do not surrender. Do not give yourself over to the enemy willingly. Do not fall for his traps. Do not fall for his tricks. But stand firm in the name of God. Stand firm in the presence of God. Listen to your conscience. Listen to your heart. Listen to your soul. Battle for the right things. The only way to God is through God. The only way for us to move forward is to believe and have faith. Even if it is small like a mustard seed, even if it's small like a grain of sand, it counts. You may have gone the wrong way in your life. You may be asking yourself now, how do I turn my life around? By taking one step forward. By beginning to pick up and read the words of the Almighty. By beginning to share the hopes, the dreams of those who wish to be loved, those who wish to be blessed, those who wish to be held, those who wish to make a difference in this world. We are kings and queens of the Most High. We are children of the Most High. We are servants of the Most High. We cannot deny who we are, even if we try. Because God will continue reminding us through the angels of the earth that we are destined to do something, to build something, to shape and mold destiny. We cannot sit back and wait. The time for waiting is over. The time for sitting on the sideline is over. The time for feeling sorry for ourselves is over. Because there are so many counting on us to reach heights unknown. There are so many waiting for us to teach how to defend ourselves against the enemy who wants to destroy us, against the enemy who refused to claim us as children of God. We have the enemy who wants to destroy the world, who wants to distract us from the most important thing, that's loving God with all our hearts, with all our souls. God defends us. Now it is time for us to defend God, to defend the laws that He has given us, to defend the power and the authority of God. We can no longer sit silently and let those who knew not of the journey that we have traveled to get this far to speak against God, to speak against us. We must stand in this minute, in this hour, on this day, in this year, of the power and grace of God, the strength of God. We must tear down the temple that Satan has erected in this world. We must cast him off the throne and tell him that he is unworthy to stand in the presence of man and God. We must seek justice for those who have been violated, for those who have been destroyed, for the lives that have been lost due to the traps and the tricks and the demons that hunts us. Because we are raised up to be greater than any other thing that God has created. We are equal to the angels of the Most High. We are equal to each other. Neither one of us is greater, but we are equal. We share the same blood. We have the same bones in our body. We have flesh. We have eyes to see and ears to hear, feet to walk and hands to hold. It is time for us to return back to each other's arms and say, never give up. Hold on. The day and time is coming quickly for us to speak with one voice. The day and time is coming quickly for us to stand as one nation. The day and time is coming for us to give our testimony. You are blessed beyond measure. You have to believe that. You have to believe in who you are. Forget the shame. Forget the pain. Forget the scars, the broken heart. Forget what others say about you. Forget who denies you. Remember who recognizes you. Remember who blesses you. Remember who loves you without a doubt, no matter what you do. Remember who listens to your prayers. Remember who comforts you in the middle of the night when you're unsure whether you can put food on the table, when you're unsure whether you can overcome the bullies of life, when you're unsure whether you will be able to put clothes on your back, when you're unsure whether tomorrow will be greater than today. Remember that someone loves you enough to give you another breath and enough motion in your body to move forward. Remember that God has given you a fire inside your heart, a burning desire to become more than just human. Remember that Jesus gave his life so that we can be reunited with God. Remember that Jesus gave his life so that we shall not fear our sin. Remember that Jesus gave his life so that we can have everlasting life, so that we may sit among the angels and speak of the Most High with the same temperament as the angels. Let us not forget that we did not create ourselves. Let us not forget that we did not give ourselves spirits, but we were endowed spirits from the greatest, God. Let us break free from the chains of oppression, and let us reign as children of God. Let us stand tall and firm with our heads held high as kings and queens of the new generation, of the new city of God, as the new people of God. It's time for us to have a makeover. It's time for us to change what we have been doing. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Now, if you keep going to church and you ain't getting what you need, it's time for you to walk out the door and find another church. If you have friends that are not dependable and there when you need them, it's time for you to let them go and find somebody to be in your corner. It's time for you to stop sitting on the sidelines and begin battling for your brothers, for your sisters, for your neighbors, for your family, for your friends. It's time for you to stand up no matter where you are, whether it's work, whether it's home, whether it's school, whether it's just you. It's time to stand up. Never give up, no matter how dark the clouds may be in the sky, no matter how much rain falls, no matter how long the storm rages. Never give up. When people tell you that you are worthless, when people tell you that you won't make it, that you're a fool for dreaming, ain't nothing wrong with being a dreamer. For all those who have made major changes in the world were dreamers, are dreamers. Ain't nothing wrong with being a lover of peace, of truth, of faith, of self, of community, and of the world. I surely tell you, as soon as I'm giving you this word, this message, that the devil is now saying, I'm going to try something. I'm going to knock them off their pedestal. I'm going to take them down to the bottom and to the ground. But you must remember that you cannot give up. You cannot let yourself slip. The time is now to fight to your very last breath. for God.